Good Lord, Charlie Brown, what's all this going on? Just for this one little video? No, this is for an entire project that I'm doing. This particular video is only going to be for this electrical outlet. I'm going to show you how to remove that and remove the actual box in there, because I want a cavity there so I can drill a hole from there underneath the floor. I've got underneath the floor, I can walk here. I'm going to end up taking power from this area, running a junction box down there. That's what this is for. And I'm going to run a junction box, put wire and power in there. So I've got an electrical outlet underneath the house. I have a light switch underneath the house that's going to power 2 lights underneath the house, and it's also going to have a wire going out of this junction box underneath the house, fed by that. That's going to go over to this whole sectional. This is electrified sectional. We've got this one here that goes up and down. This little area here has power in it. There's 2 electrical outlets down here. Plus there's 2 different areas you can plug in for your cell phone, your iPad, whatever. Here's another one. This one's electrified. That's electrified. That's electrified. And I've already put an outlet box in the floor. If you want to see that, I've got videos. I got videos for that. This is all part of the project. But for this particular project, I'm going to show you how to move this, how to remove this out of the wall. Maybe your project is you have a bad electrical outlet and you need to figure out how to get it out, and you're not quite sure how to do that. Well, this video will show you how to do that. I just got a little towel here. I'm going to kind of run that underneath here. Okay. The first thing you want to do, obviously, is make sure the power's off. I've already turned it off, and I know I've got the right one, but if you want to double check, don't make the assumption and then all of a sudden find out you plugged in, or you turned off the wrong breaker by accident. It was supposed to be the 4th one down, and you turned off the 3rd one down or something. You know, go the extra mile, make sure your power's off, because I would never suggest you working on anything that's hot. This is just a little wire tester. The orange light would go on if there was power to it, okay? Okay. So now, I gotta get my knee pad. Where is that? I always like to use my knee pad. Even on carpet, I'll use it. Oh, okay. Ah, that feels much better. Okay. I'm just gonna take the cover plate off. Usually this kind of cover plate, the screws are really short, so be careful not to lose them. Just tiny, itsy bitsy. And be careful as you're pulling that off. If somebody, you see here on the back side, it looks like when the painter put this on, I told him to wait. They painted this house before we moved in. I told him to wait until the walls were dry all the way before putting these covers back on. Because if you don't, they could stick. And then as you try to pull that cover off, you could rip the sheetrock paper off. That's why more times than not, if I know that if it looks like it's stuck, I'll take my sheetrock knife and kind of lightly score around the edge, kind of at an angle, in case there's some caulking there, or in case there's some paint that I can lift off just a bit. Okay, now there's just 2 screws on here that I'm going to unscrew. I usually try to do this by hand. I don't usually get my my battery operated drill out and take the screws out that way. I just usually do it like this. And I am not taking this out before, and I'm getting ready to install that extra power in here, and I'm not quite sure how many wires are in this box. I'm hoping there's not too many. Oh, good Lord. Okay. See, I'm pulling this out, and it looks like there's 2 sets of wires coming in here because I have 2 whites, 2 blacks, and I've got the ground wires. And the ground wires, I still try to be careful, even though I know the power's off, you know. But anyways, they did it slightly different. They used a wire nut as a pigtail. Some electricians use little crimpers. They're little crimp collars. Okay, and so that's it so far, right? Pull it out of there, and I see that both sets of wires are coming up, and my wire is going to actually be going down. And it's in a plastic box, just like I thought. And my stud is here, not over here. I was pretty sure that's where it was, because I wanted to figure that out. I'm going ahead of myself now. Okay. Just gonna get these situated on the back, because I'm gonna be working from this back side. Okay. Because let's get you down here. Let's get you down here. You see where the wire is? It's going into a little hole, and you notice there's a little square, rectangular knots right there. Here's one here. There's one below that wire over there, see? And this one is above that wire right there, above that wire, okay? And these are pushed into the back. Now see, they had screws. Sometimes electricians will wrap these wires around the screws on the side. And if I don't, more times than not, if I don't use these side screws, I usually screw them in before I put the plug or the outlet back in the wall, but they didn't. Okay, so this side is the 2 black wires, and the other side, where this long slot is the white wires. Those are the neutrals, and they're coming on this back side here, okay? And so because they're coming from over here, I'm going to take a little screwdriver and I'm going to push it into the hole. Okay, I was just showing you that because I got you up here. Okay, I got to take a small little screwdriver like that, and I got the power off, so I'm okay. Okay, I'm going to push on that, and as I'm pushing on that, I'm going to pull the black wire out. Just like that. See there? And I'm going to do the same thing with the top black wire. Push and pull it out. Just like that. Look at that. And now I'm going to do these others. Be careful as you're doing this. Just kind of wiggle it. Push it in there. Make sure you got it in the hole. Make sure your screwdriver is small enough, because you got to really push in there. Look at that. See there? I got all that out of there nice and easy, greasy. And now I can flip this around. This is the ground screw, and I can take that off. I'm just going to loosen up the screw. I'm not going to take it out all the way. This electrical outlet, by the way, is still a good one. And it's wrapped the wire around, so I'm just going to take a little screwdriver and kind of lift up on that if I can. Oh, it's in that little groove. There's a groove in there, but you just want to kind of get it a little bit, and then you can kind of push it off of there. See? See how those came out? These were stripped straight. The 2 blacks, the 2 whites. And the ground wire had that little loop-de-loo on there, and that was put in along that direction like that. See, you want to put that loop the same direction that you're tightening up the screw, like that. That way when you tighten that, it wants to tighten that on there even more. Usually once I get that on there, I'll kind of push that or kind of pinch that just a hair further and then screw it down. And as I'm screwing that down, the tighter that screw gets, the tighter it's going to go on there. If you had that loop going the opposite direction, you'll still get it tight, but sometimes you think it's tight and you actually have this slightly loose because every time you're tightening up the screw this way, this wire is wanting to come off the other way, if you catch my drift. Okay. So does it matter which way you do it? Yeah. Okay, so this electrical outlet I am going to be putting back into the wall there when all is said and done, but I've got to get another wire up out of there, don't I? Well, first things first, I'm just going to get all these wires straight, and this, I'm going to take this off because I've got to add another ground wire to there. And I can hook on the ground wires the same way. And see, once I get it to there, I just keep twisting it. And I'm going to keep this because this is going to be like a little pigtail, okay, for my project. Those are wrapped, so I'm just going to take my pliers. I want to grab this and untwist it and get those undone there. Okay. Have I shown you anything so far you don't think you could do? I don't think so. Okay, so now I can straighten this and still untwist this just one more because I want to get this ground wire nice and straight. And the same thing with this one. Because ultimately, what I'm going to do to this box, I'm taking this box out of the wall. How am I going to do that? You'll just have to keep watching. Okay. Man, I only got about 2 inches coming out. Usually you're supposed to have about 6 inches. They did that because they attached another, I call this a pigtail, on there. Okay. They could have ran that out longer. They could have still wrapped it up in there and put that in, because when you get all said and done, you got to get all these wires back in the box along with this electrical outlet. This, that's a lot of stuff to get in there. Plus, I'm going to be adding another set of wires into this box, and I still only want 2 wires to come out. So see, I'm going to have to do some slightly different things. I'll have 2 more wire nuts in the box when I get all done. Okay. Well, the good thing is now I've got everything situated. This wire is coming out of a hole on that side of the box, and this wire is coming out over there. Okay. If you're going to hook up a new electrical outlet, because this one was bad, you just take this one out, be careful, and put the other one back in the exact same way. If you pull them out of the back, you can plug them back in the same way. And it doesn't matter on the black wires whether or not whichever one of these two, you got 2 black wires coming out of this box, this one in particular, I could put either black wire on the top or bottom of the black wire size, and you'll see that the small side on here is for black, the power. The long side is for your white wire, which is the neutral wire. Have you ever noticed that? Why one side's bigger than the other? And on the side, that tells you first off, and secondly, it tells you on the back, usually the black wire side is gold screws. The white wire side is silver screws, and these screws are silver. It kind of doesn't look like that because whoever painted the wall, they got a little bit of paint on here. See, this is black actually. There. So these are in fact silver screws. Okay, this side silver, white, this side gold, which is black, which is the hot wires. Okay, so if you were just replacing this, I would not have undone the ground wire. I would have just put everything back in the same way. Okay, and that's how you would replace one of these. Very simple. But for my purposes, at this point, I've got to take this box out of here. Now, how am I going to do that? Well, you'll just have to keep watching to find out. Well, that's all I have for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.